Hello, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Say More Podcast with your host Phoebe Hagen and Lauralie. How are you, my girl?
Hello, hello. Welcome to episode 24.
Yes, 24, 24.
Already there. Okay.
I'm good, my girl. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
What's up with you?
I mean, I feel like this week has been like, it's gone so quickly, and I keep forgetting the days that we're actually in at the moment. Like, I keep waking up and being like today, woke up today and was like, oh, like it's this new start to the week, thinking it was Monday, and I was like, it's Sunday. Like,
It's,
I don't know where my head's at the moment.
I don't know. I mean, it's funny you say that because it was Friday and I was like, I don't feel like it's Friday at all.
Mm-mm. I feel like all the days have mashed together recently, and it's been really like, oh, what's the day? I keep asking like Max or like someone like, oh, what's the day today? Because I just don't know what day it is. Like I wake up and be like, I think it's Tuesday. Oh no, it's Saturday. Cool, sweet.
Yeah, I feel that it's just one of those that is Groundhog Day. Babe, I
Yeah.
can hear myself on your side.
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
Right. Let me plug in. Plug in.
Do you hear yourself on my side?
No.
Sorry, babe.
No, you good. You're good. But no, how is
I
it?
won't be, I was like trying to like whisper, but
Like I can hear everything.
yeah, I can hear everything. I cannot do the whole podcast like this.
Right, 2 sets. I'll cut this bit out. Eh. Fucking headphones. They're tangled up. It's like my life. All tangled up. All messed up. Fuck. Right, there you go. Okay. See if it's any good. Is that better? Ah, yeah.
Hello, hello. Yes.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, how was your week been? Because I feel like I haven't heard from you much this week, so I was like, okay, like I don't know if she's going through it. Like what's the deal this week? Like how's it been this week?
Um, Not an easy week. Listen, we've communicated through a lot of memes and a lot of like dope ass song, and
Food pages as well.
I'm just saying that this week has just been long. Like I don't know how to say it. A lot of like interpersonal little
Yeah.
struggle. I don't know if I'm also going through like my
Yeah.
period. Like I think it's just like like a lot of things has happened this week, but I just feel like it's Groundhog Day. Like every day needs to be the same exact day, and I'm okay with that. Sometimes it is what it is, but I want to say this week has been a little bit long, but super positive about the progress.
Yeah.
In when those things happen, I just try to get, closer to Kim and like the people that, I talk to you a little bit more and try to not stay like so alone because I tend to like really kind of get
In your own
by
bubble.
myself. Yeah, a little bit. And yeah, I did feel kind of more, I want to say
Yeah.
emotional, a little bit more, just like personal little
Yeah.
things. But
I mean, I feel the
yeah,
exact same. Like, I feel like this week, especially because we're so close now, it's like getting to the points now where emotionally we're a little bit more like lower. I feel like I'm a lot more like I've been a lot more tired, and like you said, I've been emotional and stuff this week as well, where I've just been like little things will upset me or piss me off, or like just small little things that you don't really realize that will actually like make a difference. Yeah, so I feel like that's been this week. It's been like a few little things that I've just been like, can this week be over? Like, can we just not this week? But I mean that happens just in life in general, doesn't it? And I feel like you just have to keep when those types of things happen. You just have to keep being consistent, like you said, with your routine and make sure that you're like, okay, I just need to get this done. Once it's done, it's done. Like we're over. So yeah, I feel you on that one massively. I'm not gonna lie.
for me this week, like bodybuilding saved me was like the opposite. Like, those weeks that just I can say like bodybuilding saved my life. It's like one of
Yeah,
those like times that it gets me.
through.
It's my hour. Yeah, it's like my hour of the day. It's like my thing. It's So yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was just a long week. I don't really want to reflect on it. I just wanted to like let it slide,
Yeah,
you
no, I know
know?
what you
It's like
mean.
one of those.
But that's it's good to have
Yeah.
those. It's good to have those weeks because it tells you, it gives you signs that things are changing, like your body's changing, and like things are happening. Kind of, moving forwards towards like the closer stage show. Like stuff like that. So it's exciting.
Prep wise, like, you know, all that aside, like prep wise, I've had like my super hungry nights. I
Mm,
had my cardio that I almost fainted. Like these are like when I know it's like
the
it's almost time,
struggles.
which I mean, yeah, like I said, it makes me feel so accomplished and good. So I'm a little like on the crazier side of things on that
That's
side,
good though. I'm
but I'm more,
similar.
yeah, I'm more like, yeah, it was just like a week. I don't know if it's a full moon or some
Yeah.
shit. I don't fucking know.
Like spiritually,
It was just,
something's in the air or something like that. It's just made
yeah,
me had a week.
yeah. So let's just say, let's just crash this week and hopefully it's Sunday. I'm gonna go to church little bit later today. A little bit of Jesus in my soul, a little
Yes.
bit of, I think I need
Yeah.
that.
That would be nice. That'd be really nice.
So that's the plan for
One
today.
thing, one thing that I did want to go over, because obviously you touched on it last time when I had my refeed. You had a refeed as well, did you not?
I actually
Yeah,
did,
because
yeah.
was it right
Wait, like
after
a day
mine? It was the
after?
day after mine, wasn't it? So you were like, give me the deets, all that type of thing. And then you literally got one the day after, and I was like, yes. And then a few days later, we were both like, fuck the refeed, we're both too hungry.
Y'all, fuck the refeed,
Honestly,
by the way.
hate it. I wish I never had it.
Mm-mm.
It was
Seriously though,
honestly so
huh?
bad. Like the day after, I was full, I was content, I was happy. But it's the day for me. It's always the day after, like the day after
After
the
the,
refeed. No, the 2 days after the refeed. Sorry. So like refeed happened, was great. The next day I was like still full, like, and when I was having my food, I was like satisfied because I'd still had that food in my tummy.
yes, but
The day
then,
after that, oh my God. Like, and then the days following that. So, like, last Sunday, and then, like, all the way up to at least, like, Wednesday. And even, like, now, I'm still, like, I'm hungry. Like, I am hungry. And it sucks.
Phoebes, that's
Sucks.
what it
Yeah.
was. That's what
It
it
was
was
both of
though,
us.
because I
It
had
was
my,
both of us. That's why.
okay, so listen, we had a refeed. Wait, I need to like assess this week because I haven't assessed it because I'm like, wow, like this hasn't been great, you know, personal life, but
Yeah.
like, okay, so here it is. It made me so lethargic. I started my Monday. I was like, I chew gum all week because I was so hungry. I never chew gum that much in my entire life. I was like trying to keep myself sane, like iced tea, like,
I've been splitting up
yeah.
my meals. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, the other day, I literally had like 7 meals because I was like, I'm going to split like my protein. 30 minutes later, have my carbs. Like, because I was so hungry. I was like, I actually can't do this anymore. That's probably why we've had a struggle week, is because we've both had refeeds. And then I did come on my cycle, on my period on Friday. So that's probably
Yeah.
why, if all of this has made sense now, literally within this moment, I've realized how why this week has been a struggle.
Yes.
That's
Okay.
so
The week is
funny.
behind us.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, it makes a lot of
But what did
sense.
you
Now
have
I
for your
understand.
refeed? Because I was literally like dying when you told me.
Yeah, so I ordered from Cheesecake Factory just
Oh,
because we've been doing that forever, but ordered from Cheesecake Factory a filet mignon with some white rice. I had like 3/4 of a cup of white rice and I
mm.
love my white rice. I just put some like garlic in it, put some little everything but the bagel seasoning. I had some asparagus with that. And then I topped it off with a oatmeal and my favorite almond butter.
Oh,
And I sprinkled that little thing with some chocolate chips in it. It was so
that
delicious.
sounds so good. And then did you get almond milk for the day? Or did you have almond milk for the day? Or you still didn't have almond milk?
So I went to Cheesecake Factory and I was like waiting on my meal and I was like, should I just do a little like almond milk cappuccino? Like waiting on the bar, like can I just have a little like,
That's
but
hilarious. Well,
she was like, we
RIP
don't have,
to our.
she was like,
You go.
I don't have almond milk. I only have oat milk. And I was like, oh, I can't afford a kilo of this right
No,
now.
not the calories right now. It's okay. But I
Yeah.
texted you earlier this week and I was like, RIP to the almond milk. Because honestly, y'all, all the episode, like the last episode, everyone said about the almond milk. And everyone is the same as you. I thought I like you were crazy being like swapping almond milk for physical like avocado or food. Everyone wants to do the same. Everyone would happily do the same, which I was like, that's crazy talk. That's so funny though.
Phoebe, almond milk is a romanticizing your life. It romanticize your life. Like a little steam almond milk on top of your coffee in the
To
morning.
be fair, now that I don't have it anymore because they texted you and I was like, RIP, my almond milk is now gone as well. And I've realized like how much I do love having almond milk as well. So that kind of
Because you
sucks.
have it in your shake, right? You would have it in your
Yeah,
creamy.
so and that's why this is what I'm drinking this. So this morning I made my coffee into a creamy with no almond milk or anything. Yeah, no almond milk or anything. It was literally just my coffee. I put it in the freezer last night and then made it into like a creamy this morning. Oh my God. It replaces
Wait, what do you
so
mean?
so with the creamy, you like it's a certain way to make it and it makes it like like a frosty.
Yes, yes,
It makes
yes.
it like that. So I put my coffee like under and froze it yesterday, like last night, and then this morning took it out, made it into a little like creamy, and it went into like a frosty. And then I put a little bit of a protein powder in there this morning, like literally like 20 grams. So good. I know, and it's
Stop.
replaced because I was like almond. When you said about almond milk, now I don't have it. I can't. I don't know what to do. I'm like, I can't have like normal. Well, obviously, I will have my normal coffee, but I'm like, it does not taste the same without almond milk now. I was really underestimating how much the almond milk was great, so
Told
didn't
you.
realize. And then, yeah, I made it into a creamy this morning. It was lovely. Oh my God, lovely, and it
That
fills you up
sounds
really nicely.
that sounds
It was
phenomenal.
phenomenal. It was really nice. So that's been this week then. That's been our week this week. Has there been anything else in terms of like your prep and stuff this week? Like, how's it been going? How's your, weight been and like body changing and stuff this week has been good, regardless of obviously the other stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously, like having the refeed, I had like a 2 day that was just kind of like water,
Mm.
and then started back losing weight. So now I waited at 137 this morning, which is
Oh my
yeah, it's
God.
low.
Is that not your stage, almost your stage weight from last year?
Yeah,
Fuck.
I know.
That's come around quick though, because considering we've still got a month until show day,
Yeah.
like this is perfect for you.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's good. I still have like I think 2 more pounds in my legs
Mm.
like to come off. Very stubborn this year, my legs. Oh my God, I don't know if it's
Same.
age, girl. I don't know if it's age or I know people don't like us saying that on the
Yeah.
podcast with the age thing, but I don't know what it is. It's just very stubborn this year.
But you did
So,
also
like I
grow
said,
a lot more mass on your lower body. Like your mass this year, I feel like you've got a lot more projection, like so much more projection and just fullness and stuff. So it could just be a case of just like that little last little bits, you know?
probably that would make sense to be honest. But yeah, like 2 little pounds to go away, and I'm always struggling with how I'm losing my shape and all these little things. But Kim and I have been, pretty close this week, keeping track on a lot of things. And he's super excited. And obviously with the past shows that has been going on,
Yeah.
he always keeps me posted, with these things. And so we're always on the right
Yeah.
track, with what they want and everything. So we're obviously very excited for the next couple weeks, but everything is booked. I booked the Airbnb for the
Oh my
Olympia.
God. Oh, where are you
Um,
going? Well, actually, we'll discuss that after. But yeah, that's exciting.
yes, yes, yes. What about you, mamas?
Yeah, yeah.
How was this
This
week?
week has been good. Like we dropped a few pounds since the refeed. So we had the refeed and then obviously checked in with Adam on Thursday. And yeah, he's happy. Things are staying the same for the moment. We're still like 90% sure about doing the show before because this week we're gonna fully decide because we just want to make sure it's the right move. We want to make sure that we're ready, instead of just trying to like just jump in. But we are pretty much like 90% gonna do the show, so I'm excited for it. Booked everything same as you like this week for Florida. So I think I'm gonna be in Florida on the 26th or 7th or something like that. So I'm really excited for it. So that's going to be good. And
Yeah.
then yeah, everything else is like just just waiting for it. Like my body's coming down slowly but surely. It's just weird. I think yesterday and the day before I had a moment where I was like, girl, you were so much leaner this time out last year from where you were last time. And I kind of looked back and I was like, oh, I was a lot leaner last time, but shape wasn't there as much. Like my shape this time is so much better. And I think
Mm.
Adam said to me this week, he was like, I actually think because of the muscle mass that we've grown this year, we won't need to be as lean because we have the dense muscle there, which is obviously, it's great, like news to hear. But you know what it's like when you like look back at what used to look like at a leaner point and you're like, am I on track? Like, am I moving forwards well? Like, oh, I hope I am, or I hope this is enough. But that's all you can do is just keep doing what you're doing, trust your coach, and then just kind of move forwards from there. So that's all I've really been doing recently.
Have you seen Adam every day?
Not every day. So he says that we don't need to see each other. We don't need to see each other kind of constantly and every single day. But this next week we will be seeing each other a little bit more just because we're coming closer. So yeah, we're seeing each other, I think, on Tuesday or Monday, to kind of see how things are going. And then yeah, we're gonna make some kind of more consistent changes because obviously if we are working towards the show that's in 2 weeks, we need to kind of like bust a groove. So yeah, we're kind of going to be checking in a little bit more frequently just to see how my body's responding because it's responding quick right now. Same with you. Like
Yeah.
yours is coming in like once your body's like, oh, we're in prep now, it just kind of it goes. Do you know what I mean?
It's funny. Yeah, I mean, I got a lot of like comments like that. I think this week, like people are like, "Oh my God, like I feel like in 2 weeks you came out really quick." It's just like busting my ass, y'all.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, as far as like cardio, we did major changes about my diet about 2 weeks ago,
Okay.
and those changes alone, having no more carbs, like less fats, like all of this matters. Like it's not just cutting off my almond milk. So,
Yeah, exactly.
um,
There's so many little changes that we don't kind of always disclose. So yeah,
yeah.
it's just a case of literally just like keep being consistent with what you're doing. So but yeah, I think that's what we've both been doing, obviously, and it's working, and it's really it's nice to see the progress for it. You know.
What about your after the refeed? Did you change your diet at all except the almond milk?
No, so we didn't. So I think we started to take out, like the little artificial things like sweetener and this, that, the other. So, and like little fizzy drinks and stuff here and there. The thing is, I don't have many of those types of drinks anyway because they don't really sit well in my stomach. But he's like, right now, let's remove kind of those artificial things. If we are working towards a show in 2 weeks, like in 2 weeks time from now, then we want to try and, remove those. So we removed those kind of yesterday. And yeah, we're going to kind of see how it kind of goes and stuff like that just to take away information. But it's super exciting to kind of like now make all those things. So yeah, it's cool.
I mean, it's amazing.
Right.
And what about your cardio? Is it pretty much the same
Yeah,
too?
cardio's the same. It's an hour and 10 minutes at the moment, which is a lot, but obviously needs must. We split it up into 35 minutes, 35 minutes. So it's not too bad.
Maybe it's not
No, it's not
bad.
bad at all. So, and I mean, last year we went up to a little bit higher than this. So I'm actually happy with that kind of this movement. But I don't know about you, but my legs are heavy. My legs are heavy at the moment. Like they
You
feel dragging.
you did say that in your video, I think, on one of your YouTube video with Adam, which
Yeah.
like obviously I watch with my
I
girl, but
love you.
you, you did say that. It's funny because I mean, when I have those days, I have those like boots that I
Yeah,
use, and they
same.
do help a little bit. Um, but I do have those days. But right now, like, I mean, thankfully they're fine. I feel super light, but I know when you're like your legs are getting
Tired.
tired, ugh, and they're heavy, the
Yeah.
worst. The
Yeah, so
worst.
that's where
Yeah.
we're at the moment. But regardless, like we're happy. We're happy with it.
Babe, we're
I know
happy.
we've literally just
Listen,
complained about that for last 10
I
minutes.
don't like, I mean, listen, it's just been one of those
It's not
weeks.
complaining either. It's literally just saying like how we feel, and I'm sure so many people can
Yeah.
relate to this. You know what I mean? So, um,
Yeah. Is it getting cooler in Vegas right now?
yes, and but it's still quite hot, but it's getting so nice. Like it's really like it's a nice
Mm,
cool, like it's not like cold, but it's like a cooler weather. Because before it was literally like, when you open the door to like an oven and you walk out and it like hits you, that's what it's been like. And I'm
yes.
like, oh my God, I'm in
Okay.
Dubai. Like it literally is like I'm in Dubai. So it's been nicer now. It's been a lot cooler, which has been good. So, but yeah, apart from that, this week has been nice. It's been really, really good. Apart from that, it's been great.
I mean, I just feel like we should post our
I know.
conversation like
It's just funny.
this week. Yeah, it was hilarious. And my Instagram was just savage. And some of the things you sent me also I received, but it was
The
hilarious.
one where you were
Wait,
like,
what's the one that you with the rice?
okay,
Babe, you sent me this and like I literally like laughed out loud. It was loud. I screamed. It was so funny. Guys, if you don't know what I'm referring to, we'll try to post it on our page. It was too
it was
funny.
so
Like,
funny. It was like when like when if you say like if your phone gets dropped in water and like everything rice fixes everything, and it was just someone laying in a bed of rice. I was like, yep, that's me this week. Like rice needs to fix all my problems right now. Oh God, right. So, but today's episode is going to be mainly focused on how we've matured within the sport. Now, I feel like this one's a little bit of a
how did you came with that topic? That's what I'm
I
curious
don't,
about.
I don't know. Like, when I see topics or like hear something or like, hear someone talking about it or like something pops into my head, I honestly make like notes. I put it on my like phone and I like just write random things down. And I think it was like, I saw someone online kind of saying like, oh, when I matured in the sport was when like I stopped doing this. And I was like, actually, when was the time that I actually like fully realized, because we've been doing this for like 8 years now, like how did I realize that I'd matured within the sport and like I don't know, made it part of my world a little bit more. And I feel like it would be kind of something good to kind of like ask the audience and kind of like dive into, because like when do you feel like you've, I don't know, matured with the sport? Like, because I feel like sometimes when you first get into the sport, you're kind of like not in it for the wrong reasons, but you're in it for different reasons. And then when you realize what you're doing it for, you're like, oh, okay, this is it. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I think maturity and purpose are that's why I'm trying to differentiate, and answer your question
Oh,
properly
okay.
because I think maturity is always about working through your purpose while keeping your principle and your integrity.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a mix of all three of them. I think your purpose can be reassessed through your years of competing, and I do think it can morph and change. But as long as you keep your principles intact and your morals intact, that's when you could say you mature in the
Mm.
sport. But what I think you meant by maturing the sport, because I was like, what exactly do you mean? Like physically, mentally? Like because I don't feel like I'm mature at all. Like I
Really?
don't, I mean, let's say maturity for the sport, right? Like physically wise. If I ever like
I mean, we could talk about
show my
in terms of mentally. That's what I'm talking about. But I mean, you could talk about both in terms of physically, like physically maturing because you're getting older. You've done this for a longer time amount of time. Your muscles are maturing. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah.
yeah, I think maybe I'm just tapping into it now, but I don't
Mm.
think I've ever shown my best on stage yet. Ever.
Okay.
Ever.
Do you feel like that's because? Do you feel like that's more of a mental thing in terms of like because of bodybuilding is you can always get better? Do you know what I mean? Like you can always get better. So do you never feel satisfied with the package you bring, or do you actually feel like you've never brought your best to stage?
No, I feel like I've
Really?
never, yeah, I've never, like, I'm not maxed out. And you can ask any coaches out there, and I'm sure they could say, like, Lauralie is not maxed out. I still
That's
have
true.
upper glute. I still have my waist could come in better. I could have more, round cap of my shoulder. I could be more crispy and
Yeah.
sharp. Like,
But
there's
are
so
these
many
all
things that,
assessments that you feel after you've been on stage, or do you always feel like that before you go on stage? Like, I know I need to work on this, is this still? Because sometimes where I'm like, I'm at my best, like I feel my best. And then you get off stage and then you reassess because you've seen, okay, I could have done this. But do you ever feel like I'm fucking on point before you go on stage?
never.
Really? That's
I
wild.
mean, I could be like, I'm the best that I could show up that day, like
Yeah.
conditioning wise. but I know physique wise, there's so much more I can do.
Yeah.
That's exciting for
No, but I
me.
think that, but I think that is good. The reason I think that's good that you're always, I mean, in that mindset because you can like improve. There's still room to grow. There's still more years to come within the sport. Because, like you said, sometimes if you've maxed out and you've just got to hold that and you've got nothing else to improve on,
Yes.
it can make the journey very, very boring and being like, okay, well now
I mean,
what?
it's difficult.
Yeah.
Let's say you're maxed out and you don't win.
Yeah.
Like, what
What
do
do
you
you do?
do?
You then have to lose muscle. You then have to kind of go back to the drawing board. And I mean, that's it's hard because bodybuilding is a sport where there's always something to improve on. There's no skill
Yeah.
set. So it's no like you need to run around a thing at this many, seconds or whatever. It's like there's always something that's changing and there's always something that you can improve on. And there's always someone that can then be better than you. So you then have to be better than yourself. And it's that back and forth. But I can't believe you've never actually like said like, yeah, I've definitely been my best. There's only actually been a few times that I've probably felt that way though as well, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I feel like there's been shows that I'm like, okay, we're on. Like
Yeah.
it's on. Everything is, it's together. I feel sunk in at the right
Yeah.
place. It's on. But I cannot tell you that I've ever won a show or lose a show looking my best. But I think that's what keeps me going.
That's exciting. That is,
Yeah.
like you said, that is actually really exciting though, because like you said, you've not
But
maxed
I'm sure
out.
it's the same. I'm sure it's the same for you, as long as you get feedback. Like imagine being maxed out and then you lose.
Yeah. Where do you go?
It's and then you need to change your
Yeah.
purpose. Because if your purpose was to, like, let's say you want to win, okay, and now you're losing, but you're at your best potential.
Yeah.
I mean, can you really reach your best and then give up? Like, I'm sure there's something you can do about it
Yeah.
always. Like we said, like you can go back to the drawing board, like, trying to. But I do believe there's athletes that are maxed out in our sport, and there's like,
Nothing you
honestly,
can really do about it sometimes.
I mean, sometimes it would require them to like not compete for two
Yeah.
years or not compete for 4 years, and then maybe come back when they have a kid and they have their mental in check. Like I don't know,
Yeah.
but I don't feel like I've matured in the sport. I think I've evolved,
Yeah.
I
I like that
guess,
word.
with my mindset for sure.
Yeah.
I was a child. I was an absolute
Well,
child when I first
yeah, that's what I
started
was talking about. Like,
competing.
when was a point within the journey mentally? Do you feel like you flipped the switch and you thought, okay, like I feel not mature, but I feel like I've
Oh
evolved.
shit.
Yeah. So, okay, let's
Oh.
change it from maturing to evolving. Like, when did you feel like you evolved within the sport?
That's a different
Yeah.
question, and I definitely have an answer for you. So that would have been 2020.
Ooh, why was that?
2020, after the Chicago Pro, I was at the Tampa Pro, and I felt like I wasn't having fun anymore.
Oh, I
And
remember you. I remember this story.
I asked myself, what is it? Like like your 17 years old self like wants that since every day since you told yourself you were going to be on stage at the Olympia. Like, what is it? Like, you don't even want to go compete at the Tampa Pro? Like, what's going on? And I competed, and then I came off stage, and for the first, like, it was not about the placing. It was just like me and myself, and wondering like what is happening. And I always told myself, as long as this sport makes me happy, I'm gonna stay in it. And now I was not happy. And I went back home, and that's when I matured, because I was like, I need to make decisions for myself right now, because my happiness is my own happiness. I could call Phoebe right now, and Phoebe could say like, girl, be happy, but it won't make me happy. I could call my mom, Lauralie, be happy, and still not be happy. So like, what is it? And then I made a huge cleanup in my environment, because I was like, this person makes me hate the sport. And that's when I did another show and I carried on, but then I hired Kim, and this man saved Lauralie,
Yeah.
and I've grown from there obviously a lot, but I think that's when I started making my own decisions and really truly making my own decisions.
Yeah.
Like, as crazy as it sounds, but
Taking
when
control, you taking control of what you're wanting
my
to
power,
do.
like my power back, my power back. And it's funny because people would say, but you've been so successful. Like I started first place, I won all the first shows, and technically you would have that power. But once you give that away, and it could be to just one person in your environment, it's really hard after to get it back if that person is like not well intentioned. And especially when you have people gaining from you not making your own decision and not having your power, forget it. Like you're in a battle against yourself, and then you need to kind of hit the rock bottom ish, and then find that out for yourself, and being aware of that, being happy. And I think that was a very powerful moment, because I can carry on with a lot of like negative emotions in my life and just be like, suck it up, just suck it up,
Yeah.
who cares? Like, no excuses. I've been in this sport for so long. Like, I can be depressed, I can be hungry, I can
It's
be
easy to switch off emotion. It's easier to switch off
like,
emotion.
yeah. But I was like now it's like my joy, like my joy and happiness is not even there for this. Like, this show day is tomorrow. Like, normally I'm like, I'm hyped the fuck up. It's like, let's do this. And I had no desire, and it was very weird and very unfortunate, and it was very like a sad moment. And then I went back to my 17 years old self, and I was like, you promised yourself, if that sport doesn't bring you joy anymore, you're leaving. But obviously
You
I'm
didn't.
not. I didn't. I
You
didn't,
took your
but
power back.
I took my power back, and I think that's when everything changed for me. Everything. So I'm closer to being mature. I have more wisdom now. I'm more aware, but the purpose is still the same. And I still carry with a lot of intent and integrity what I've told myself 10 years ago.
Yeah. And I think
Yeah.
like you said before as well, like it's easy to lose your purpose sometimes. Like because we've been doing this for so long, like sometimes it gets a little bit blurred when, a lot of noise starts to come into our lives and other people and other additional things start to come in. Your purpose of why you started this sport, like your 17-year-old self, I want to do this because like I fucking love this shit and I love this feeling. Then other little extra additional things sometimes can blur that and like stand in the way of like that actual purpose. And you just have to sometimes like you said, hit rock bottom, realize, okay, I'm not doing this for my actual main purpose anymore. Let's go back to the drawing board and try and regain that. I love that. I think that's amazing that you've kind of went through that journey because it's probably made you appreciate where you are now and the athlete you've become.
Right. It just makes you stand strong as a human being. And I think you are a very powerful woman, and I've always told you that. And I think you've been doing the sport in a very professional and rightful way, simply because you know who you were since the beginning. And I'm sure now we spoke about this before, the noise gets louder and louder. But there's two things that can happen. You can either let it get to you, and positive and negative like noise, babe, it's just as
Yeah.
toxic as one or the other. If you don't know yourself, the loud noise, like the noise itself is toxic. So, but um for you, it was like when you would be tested with your friendships or whatever, they would throw things at you. It never changed you. Like, you never started hiding. But me, I was like, if someone tell me something, I would start hiding. I would start banalizing what I was doing. I just finished second at my first Olympia. I went back waitressing tables the next day. And then one of the clients was like, what are you doing here? And I was like, I mean, I'm back at my
Yeah.
job. And they're like, but you just 1 second. I'm like, don't. And then people at work, they were like, why did you not tell us? Like, you went to Vegas. Like
Yeah.
I would keep it like super
Secret.
hush hush, and try to banalize everything. But inside, it's a fire that burns inside of me so loud, and you should be so being able to express that. And I don't know how you feel about that, what I'm saying right now, if it connects with
No,
you
it
at all,
does.
because that's my perception of you. Like, I think you and Daraja like embodies that a lot, um, as far as personality wise, like really knowing who you are as a person, as a whole. And I'm saying that within your relationship, within you as a daughter to your
Yeah.
dad. I'm telling that for you as a sister with your other sisters.
Yeah.
Like, and I think the last year we went back and forth on a lot of things when you were dealing with the competing side and like Phoebe being Phoebe. So, what do you think about you maturing in the sport and like your purpose and all
Yeah.
these
I
things?
mean, I feel like I started obviously into the sport at like, I was like pretty much, well, my first show was literally like a month before I turned 21. So I feel like I was a little bit older. So I feel like that helped already because I was like, well, I think this is what I want to do anyway. Like I was already a little bit into the gym. Not massively. I'd only literally been going to the gym from like the age of like 20. And then obviously, well, yeah, from around like seriously from around 20. And then that's when then we kind of like from there we went into okay, let's like see where I can take this sport and all that sort of thing. So I started like bodybuilding at like say 21, which is older. So I feel like I kind of already knew who I wanted to be and what I wanted to kind of do and this. Bodybuilding definitely did change that though. Like that I think that year was a massive like life switch and like okay, I'm gonna really put my all into bodybuilding. The following year, okay, like I put my all into bodybuilding, this happened, let's do more and let's do more. And like that's where I kind of my mindset was when I first kind of realized, okay, I want this to be my career, I want this to be like my thing, you know. So I'd kind of already seen that from the beginning. But I feel like my massive evolving kind of moment was literally only, I mean, I feel like there was like like big turning points in my life was when I was going towards obviously the Olympia qualification. I think it was like 2019. And that was like where I just kept going and going and going and going. And I still didn't get it. But I was like, okay, this is something that you need to go through. Like I need to go through this kind of feeling to really like get to where I want to be. Like I just need to be consistent. I just need to keep going. I need to keep showing up. Because I will reap the benefits like as time goes on. And I was getting better and better. And I think once I started chasing the better version of me each time I stepped on stage versus the qualification, that's where I think then like the massive like switch changed. Because for me, obviously, like back in the day where it was like points, that was very, very difficult. Like for anyone that's listening and didn't know, like the point system back in the day, a few years back, it was top 20 on a point system would go to the Olympia. And then obviously there was a cutoff point like normal. But because the points were switching so much, you had to keep being, had to keep competing. So for me, I was chasing the points versus chasing my best I could be. And I think when I realized, okay, I still didn't get there and I was just chasing the points, let's now try chasing my fucking physique and like, let's really build and make sure I'm focusing on training and this and making sure I'm focusing on all of that stuff. Once I then focused on that versus, okay, I need a qualification, that was like a massive flip for me. Like, okay, now I'm enjoying it again. I'm now really like, hitting my workouts better versus just getting it done. Like it's really clicking now. It's starting to click. And that was when I then got the qualification in 2021, which was incredible. And yeah, and then I think another kind of evolving moment was obviously I think this year where obviously I didn't do the Arnold's and I kind of chose to take that power back of like, right, I need to enjoy this sport. I need to make sure that I'm doing this for my purpose, Like my body wasn't at its best. I was fucking exhausted. I just couldn't push on. I couldn't do anymore. I could still kind of have those, oh, what happens if I'd done the Arnold's? I could have done it, but there was nothing else I could give. My body was tired. I was tired. And in that moment, like you said, took my power back and said, I need to do this sport. I need to enjoy doing this sport. I can't need to just push on and hate and resent the sport for what it is. I need to make sure that I'm enjoying it. And that's where I think I really like took my power back and was like, I love this sport again, because I think after the Olympia, post Olympia, when I got sick and stuff like that, and then having to do, obviously not having to, but obviously then going into the Arnold's prep, it was just fucking hard. It was really, really hard. So I think those are two big moments where I feel like I've really matured within the sport, and evolved massively.
That's
I love it.
amazing.
It's weird. It's weird
Yeah,
saying
that's
it as well. Like actually, like looking back on like those moments, because I wrote them down. And I was like, where was like the the actual moment where I feel like I fully like matured and evolved? And those two moments kind of stuck out to me mainly.
yeah. No, it makes sense, and it makes sense that the universe didn't make you go to the Olympia that year because you weren't ready.
Yeah,
And that's, every year I'm like, this is the year. People would say, this is the year of the Olympia. It has to be the year. And every time I understand why it's not, I'm like,
yeah,
the last 5 years, it hasn't been the year. And like, it's okay. And every time there's a year that goes by, and I'm like, this is why.
yeah,
This is why. Because this clicks and this click. And the clicking thing that does for you when it's just you and your guts and your purpose, and you needed to fucking figure it
yeah,
out. Like, how can you even figure it out? Like, let's say you were to go to the Olympia. Then what? You would just go through chasing the same point that you've done the last year because it worked.
yeah,
The universe showed you, like, you did this, it worked. Now
yeah.
what? So every time that the universe doesn't work for you, there's a bigger thing behind it. And now look at you. Like,
I feel like
you
I've gone through
you
all
you
of
ate
that.
you literally ate yourself like twice. Like, literally ate yourself twice since you made the decision. Like, you're like a double Phoebe. Like, it's not even like 2.0. It's like a freaking like 80.0. Like, what's going
But I feel
on?
like those are the reasons.
Unbelievable.
You know what I mean? That you have those gut feelings. You know, like I need to have rest. I need to do this. Like I need to. And you just, when you actually go with those gut feelings, gut intentions, and stick with your purpose, like okay, yes, I can try and push on, but if you know there's nothing else you can do, there's nothing else you can give, then you just have to sometimes step back. And I feel like that was a huge moment for me this year. And I don't think I realized that until after though. Because obviously I was talking to you before, and like a lot of the times after I was like, fuck, this is like, this was a like bad mistake. Why did I apply? Like, da, 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 and really like digging myself down. And then when I step back, and now I've really realized, like I was looking back, and I'm looking back at obviously now photos of me, and I'm like, fuck, like this was the reason why I didn't do the Arnold. I needed to give my body more rest. I needed to give myself more time. This was the reason, because I'm now feel like I'm bringing, like you said, the better package. So I feel grateful for having these moments, if I'm honest, of like almost, yeah,
Confirmation.
like almost like that you kind of go down, you kind of go dig down a little bit deeper, and then you shoot back up like tenfold.
Yeah.
And you have to go through those moments in your journey. Like it's not always going to be like this, which you think it is. Like everyone, like success doesn't look like, it's like that meme or like that quote, success doesn't look like this. It doesn't look like a steady road just up. It's literally like here, like all the time, all the time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but I feel like, yeah, that was my moment. And it feels like nice, like saying that now and like actually realizing it. Like, fuck, that was where I like fully matured and like fully came into. Right, I feel like I'm still like evolving now. Like each year we evolve,
Of
obviously,
course. Of
but
course.
I feel like those are the two main points that I've really evolved.
And that's probably what's gonna carry on with the next preps of our lives,
Hmm.
and what could make it a little bit
Yeah.
easier. Just because it's not all over the place, it's very connected, and
Hmm.
I feel that we're very connected in our own way throughout the sport, and it makes just, there's topics that or things that we could have done before, like comparing ourselves. Like for me, it's so 2012. I'm like,
Honestly,
oh my God, it's like,
I don't even do it. You don't. The thing is, you don't even do it anymore. It's not, and that's where
yeah.
you don't have to look at others to kind of feel like, oh, I need to confirm that I'm doing this right, or you just know, okay, you're in your own lane. I'm in my own lane. I'm doing my own shit. Like that's all it is.
And you don't just talk about it, you're actually
Yeah,
like being it, and I think this year, like, it's the most I've ever been, and it's weird because people are asking me like how prep is going. I don't really know what to tell
yeah,
them at all. I'm like, very peaceful.
yeah.
Like
It's just
I'm
it,
prepping. It's like prepping is just prepping. Like literally, guys, like prepping is just eating your meals, doing what you need to do, and then that's it.
yeah.
Like Like, what
There's
else?
no
What
extra
else is
external stress. There's no like, oh my God, I'm thinking about this, or oh my God, I'm doing this. Like, obviously, I've had moments of like doubt, and I feel that always creeps in for me, but I've never compared or looked at others, or which in the past I have done. It's now just, I'm in my own lane, I'm doing my own thing.
yeah, it's like rational doubts. It's not like
No,
those
yeah,
crazy like
no,
comparison stuff.
exactly.
Good. Phoebe, good
I
stuff. We're
know.
grown
I
women,
know.
grown ass
I know.
women.
I love it.
Hello.
Well, these are a few of the responses before we finish today's episode. I kind of asked Instagram, I was like, when did you feel like you fully matured within the sport? And there's a few answers that I really love. So someone said, when I no longer needed validation from multiple people, just myself and my coach. I love that. I
Preach.
love that because again, it's easy. Like we spoke about the noise a lot, like having a lot of noise around you from other external people, and it can be very overwhelming. And you can take in other, feedback and other people's like opinions and stuff about you. But once you realize it is literally you and your coach, it's game changer. It really is game changer. So, when I started the moment where I realized I'd matured in the sport is when I started loving my off-season body and my prep body. I love that.
Love that for you,
I
girl.
love that.
Time 1,000.
Yeah.
Time a
Because there has been,
thousand.
I mean, I still ask it now. It's like some people like ask me, like, do you prefer your off-season body or your prep body? And I'm like, I love both, but I do love my off-season body. Like I love the curves. I love like having those feelings, but each serve a purpose in my mind.
Yes.
So,
It's actually like it serves the purpose of being a human being. Like, well, like there's more. It's so funny because my massage therapist was like, oh no, who did I see this week? I saw someone this week. I think it's a massage therapist. He said like, yeah, people were talking about she's gonna have enough time. I'm like, damn, these people after 7 years, they know I'm doing
yeah.
this shit
What about
every
you?
year.
About you?
Yes, they're like, oh, she's not gonna be ready on time, like 14 weeks out. I'm like, how does people and like everybody that knows, they're like, she's gonna pull it off. Like everybody know. I'm like, I'm gonna and not pulling
It's
it
not pulling it
off.
off.
I'm working my
It's
ass
yeah,
off.
yeah.
Like
You're working your ass
it's
off. You're literally like, and you show up every single time. And do you know what? I'm the same. And do you know why it is? Is because we do gain a little bit more weight in our off season.
I think that's all it
That's
is.
all it is because people are like, oh, she's gained too much, so she's probably not going to
Oh.
be ready. And you're like, bitch, I'm going to show you. We're going to show the fuck up. Like
Yeah,
that's all it
we're gonna
is.
be sending our we're gonna be sending ourselves and like dying on the cardio, but we're still gonna show up.
We're
We're still
showing
gonna
up. We're still showing
fucking
up. We enjoy both. We both
yeah.
both sides of the spectrum. We enjoy off season and we fucking kill it in prep. Period. That's
Yeah.
it.
Period.
Period. So, okay. When I started focusing on mind to muscle connection versus just moving the weight, that's good. That's
Growth.
growth.
Very
That is
good.
very, very good. What was it? When I realized the result I want takes time and patience and trusting the process.
Beautiful.
Yes, I love that
Beautiful.
because
Oh my
that
goodness.
is,
One more for the people in the back,
yeah,
please.
literally.
This
I
is
feel like it's really easy to focus on just the finished products and then in like hate the process, which I feel like you have to enjoy the process. You have to trust it too, and then the results will come. Like I saw it. I don't know who said it on a podcast. It was like someone was like, stop chasing a pro card. And the reason for that is because you have to start chasing the physique you want and the pro card will come in time. Do you know what I mean? Like and it makes
yes.
sense. It makes complete sense. Like chase what you want to envision to like your best self to be on stage with. If that's good enough for a pro card, you'll get the pro card. But don't just chase the pro card and forget about all the external stuff. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah, chasing a pro card is gonna make you do some really bad decisions for your
because it's
health. So
irrational.
please don't.
It's irrational.
Yeah.
Chase your best you can be with muscle, with conditioning, with the criteria like credentials, hitting those and focusing on those versus focusing on just the card. Like the card can be the goal and obviously have that to like push you, but don't just focus solely on the pro card. Focus on being your best. That's literally, yeah, top tier. When I understood that my off season is not time off, it's my growing phase, which I kind of agree to disagree in a way because I feel like your off season is definitely, for me anyway, is my off time. I need to switch off. I need to reset. It's my reset time as well as growing phase, you know? But I feel like it depends on where you are at in your journey.
I hope it's a growing phase also mentally and
Spiritually,
spiritually.
yes. Growing phase all
Um,
around as a growth phase as a
because
human.
b- because you just have more mental capacities. You know, you don't have, I need to eat every 3 hours. I need to like do cardio, and you should not be tired in your off season. So hopefully you take that time to reflect on
Yeah.
yourself and read some
Yeah.
books and mentally and spiritually grow,
Yes.
and make sure you're aligned with your goals and with the right people, and reassess your life. It's an active reset growth.
Yes, exactly that. And exactly, I don't even need to add to that. That's exactly where I think as well. Someone said when I stopped looking up who was doing my shows and just focusing on me doing them, exactly what we
Please.
said, exactly what we said.
Yes.
I think everyone has gone through that point where they've had those moments where they're looking, oh, who's competing in my show or who's doing the show, and looking up at other people. And you know, that's fine, it's okay, but it's not going to do anything. It's not going to change anything. It's not going to make things different. You looking up the competition and like distracting yourself from your focus on you, and that's all you need to do.
Yeah, the only reason why I would look at the list of any show that I'm doing is if I have Phoebe on the
Yeah.
list. If I have
Oh
any
my god,
friends,
so,
I'm
do I
like,
have any friends? I mean, as
do you have any
pros,
friends?
yeah.
Where do you girls want to go eat
Yeah.
after?
Oh, to
Like
be
knowing,
fair, that's true. That's actually very, very true.
and when you start competing with some people that you're more familiar with, you're like, okay, that girl is going to have hairspray. That girl
Yeah.
is going to have the candies. That girl is going to have,
Yes.
and it's like, that's why you should look at the
Yeah,
the
not
list,
physique
okay?
wise,
Nothing
not
else.
physique wise, but being
No.
like, okay, girl, I know you're going to be at this show. Let's get food after.
The Raj is always gonna have a bottle of
Yeah.
wine.
Shout out to Raja. Shout out to
Yeah.
Raja. Yeah. To be fair, that's actually very true. And I like that. And that's what you should do. Look up the list, look at the list and text the girls and be like, hey girl, let's have a party backstage. Let's have some food post show. Like make it enjoyable. Don't make it competitive. You don't need to. There really is no need. Okay. And then last one is, which is a good one, realizing every phase, which is what we said, realizing every phase has its purpose and to embrace and love yourself in each one. Period. I
Stop.
love I
I
love
love
our
it.
community because honestly, we have some strong fucking women in our community. When I ask these things, they make me think, you know? I love it. I actually love it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, that was
Oh, we love
I
you
know.
guys.
I love all of it. So,
We
I
love
mean,
you
there's loads of
guys.
others, but obviously I feel like that was a good one to end it on, in terms of maturing, embracing, and evolving within the sport. Those are our stories, those are your stories. And yeah, that was a beautiful episode.
That was so
I
amazing,
know.
Phoebe. That was very
Yeah.
fulfilling and great way to finish our Sunday, to
Mm.
like start our Sunday. You start your Sunday. I'm like half midday there. I'm gonna go hit some shoulders
Yes.
and do my cardio, and we'll catch up
Yeah.
next week, my love.
Okay, I will. Well, thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment, all those fun things. It really means a lot to us. And, it means a lot. Our community's grown a lot, like over the last however many months now. And loads of people have been literally asking again, like, when's your next Say More event? When can we join? We have been speaking about it, so we are going to kind of have a look at doing one next year, so keep your eyes peeled for that. But apart from that, thank you guys, we love you guys so much, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Love you guys. We'll
Bye.
see you in the next one. Bye.